Snow and Lambeau, Coach. Something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got half a foot of the white stuff and still coming down here in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Let's go. 10-2 soft.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go.
Off play action. Here's White. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now White. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Looking deep for Adams. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 28-yard line.
Down. 90 Wolf.
Pick up the ball.
Hey, Alpha.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Kill.
Down.
Off play action. Costello. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Costello lets it fly for Thielen. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 41 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
44, Mike, 44.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
Looking to throw. Costello going deep for Diggs. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 39 yards there, a big one. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Now this time he'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. But now it's third and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Mike, 44. Drop deep.
Yeah.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day offense.
Go.
44 is the Mike. 44.
Ready?
Off the play fake. Costello. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
In your face. Mike, 55.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Back to throw. Costello in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Zadarius Smith. In there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. On first down, it's Taylor. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, switch gears.
Look, switch to go.
The give to Taylor. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got some space here. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 61 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
He was brought down by Eric Wilson. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
26.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Let's put that team on the box. Check, crunch. Hey, check 20.
Stand.
49. Check 49. Check 49.
Check 3.
Yeah.
Taylor. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. Call it a gain of... Three, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try.
27-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina...
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Lockett, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Zoo. Jim.
Off play action. Costello. This complete to Lockett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Looking to throw. Costello. And Diggs has it. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and...
There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers all going deep here for Taylor. And that's caught inside the 35. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Hey, Charlie.
Check Mike 54.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
We got 4.
630.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Get in the way, Ruth.
To throw is Rodgers. To throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Keep it up, guys. Check the...
Hey, Haywood.
Shit.
Back to throw. Costello. He's got Lockett. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Costello. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Looking to throw. Costello. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. That is just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Out. 3.
All right.
Check 24. Check 24.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor trying to run inside, but nothing there. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check tight. Check tight. Check tight.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
48. 48's mine. 48's mine.
Jim.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Bravo.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic.
From the gun, Rodgers. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Rodgers now throwing again. And his throw here is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. To throw is Rodgers. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Back north.
Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, we don't like the 48.
Box it.
Rodgers again now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
I got you, son.
Inside.
Mike, 54.
Zoom.
54. Hit.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 1st and 10, Costello. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. Costello. Eluding the pressure. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Running from the shotgun with Drake. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Costello. They'll set up the screen to Drake. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one. And that's caught by Smith. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
94. Hey, watch the slant.
Throwing on 1st down. Costello. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A very solid gain of 27.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab.
Check 22 Jet Bomber, 22 Jet Bomber. Watch the whip. Switch. Go.
On 1st down, Costello, and that is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
It's our field.
It's recon, 132 fighter.
Check 4.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check 90.
Step.
Throwing again. Costello.
Check.
It's complete to Drake. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 17-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Alert 3. Check 52.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple of... And the ball is knocked out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's their quarterback scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 1st and 10, Costello. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now Taylor. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic. Okay, double up.
Rodgers going to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Hey, take 26.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Kill.
Off play action. Costello. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Adrian Amos with a pick. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Check 31. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Watch twist.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Switch.
Hey, Echo. Fire.
Looking to throw. Costello. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the seain for him. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. Making the catch is Sternberger. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. The Packers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Live. 55. Hey, Charlie. Jim. Hey, check right.
Operating from the gun. Rodgers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I really enjoy.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, Duff. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. He's going deep for Brown. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Get 300.
Mike 5-4.
Rodgers going to throw again. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now.
6-6, pull it high.
To throw on 3rd down, Costello. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, you block over here. Check 48's the mic.
Here's Rodgers to throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
I don't think you got it, sir. Check safety, check safety. Switch.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check 26, check 26. 30.
Hey, Delta. Hustle. Shoot.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, switch gears.
From the gun, Costello. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Check, lucky. Check, crunch.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello. It's caught. Lockett. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to be Packer football.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. To throw, it's Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
48. Hey, 88. Mike, 48. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Hey, box drop.
48's the mic.
Rodgers will try again on second down. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Win 18.
Here we go. Tight end right. On, far down.
Go right.
Hey, check 24. 49, check 49.
Uncle, over here.
Check 3.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Here we go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Ready, break.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Costello. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught. Smith. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Game situation. Let's go. Hey,
Go.
21. Check back 21. Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
Off the play fake. Costello. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This complete to Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the loss is number 8 for them on the year.